Hi, Theunis from Bandwidth Blog, and with me I've got the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. And yes, we know we have reviewed it before and it's more than a year old, but we thought we would look at how the device aged because it was Google's flagship smartphone. Overall, we really liked how the device looks and feels in the hand. Even though it's made entirely of plastic, it is a very rigid plastic and of good quality. Because we thought it is a very good looking device, we didn't want to put a cover on it. And of course, as does happen from time to time, you do drop your device. You can see there's a couple of scuff marks, especially on the corners, and a couple on the sides. But actually, it is very, very durable, and it did hold up very well if you look at the heights that we dropped it from. As is characteristic of a Nexus device, there is no branding on the front, and you will find the Google moniker on the back, as well as the Samsung one. The Galaxy Nexus has a very nice screen, even when you compare it to some of the modern smartphones. Yes, it won't have the full 1080p that you will find on the new flagships coming out now, but it is a very decent screen and the colors really pop because of the Super AMOLED screen. The device is more than a year old, so you can expect that the battery life isn't as good as it was when it was new, and we still found it was average. It still held up for about a full day. But let's look at the Nexus name. This means two important things. First of all, the hardware specifications are decided by Google and made in conjunction with the equipment manufacturer. This means that Google has control over what the device looks like and what the internals must be. Secondly, it means that it is running stock Android. This is of course the Android purist's dream. This is how Google intended Android to be. It doesn't have any skins on top of it like you would find on other Samsung devices or HTC devices, for example. The advantages is quite obvious that you get the updates very, very quickly. Android Jelly Bean was launched at the end of July, and a week or two later, the Samsung Galaxy Nexus got the update. The advantages, of course, of this is that you get the newest features of Android, and in Android Jelly Bean that meant Project Butter. It helps the device in terms of how the hardware works. So the processor works better, you can also get more work out of the amount of RAM, and it even helps the camera perform better in terms of the software that runs the camera. Most interestingly is that you can buy this device right now for around 5,000 Rand if you buy it new, which is much less than the flagship devices you can find, and you won't notice any worse performance because of stock Android. But the most impressive thing is that if you can find a very good conditioned second-hand device, you can get it for around 3,000 to 3,500 Rand, which we think is probably the bargain of the century. If you are an Android purist and you love what Google's stock Android has to offer, this is still something to consider, especially if you don't want to spend top dollar on a high-end device. For our full reviews of the Samsung Galaxy Nexus and also Android Jelly Bean, check out bandwidthblog.com.